Hey folks, it's Brent with the Downing Group. This week we are going to talk about 2021 predictions for the Columbia real estate market. So welcome back. Glad you're with us as we wrap up the crazy 2020 year. Man, who would have predicted what would have happened through halfway through the year? Our team was down a little bit versus 2019, and then the last 6 months we have had a 60% increase over last year in sales. So for the year we're up 30%, and it is just crazy. No one would have thought it was coming. We're doing better than average, but I thought since we are coming to the end of the year that I would give you all my thoughts on the what's going to happen in 2021 in the Columbia real estate market, or the Midlands, the greater Midlands anyway. And so to do that, I want to talk about what are the conditions today that we have. And because those kind of dictate, or at least set the table for what possibly could happen. And when I look at what's going on today, of course, we have record low interest rates. Some say they may even dip below 2% next year on a 30-year fixed. And they're getting close to 2 right now. Some say they'll increase towards the end of the year. I'm not good enough to know all that stuff, but I do know that I've never seen interest rates this low. The unemployment rate in South Carolina, I'm looking at a couple of statistics right now, even online, and there's a couple of different numbers that you see when you hear unemployment rates. The typical rate you'll hear is a U3 unemployment rate, and nationally right now that is 7.2% through, I believe it's the end of November, whereas South Carolina is 5.4%. But if you dig deeper, and include the frustrated workers, the workers that are not making as much as they used to and have taken other jobs and so forth, that's called the U6 unemployment rate. Nationally, that number is 12.3%, and in South Carolina, it's 10.4%. And I'll get to that in a minute. But when you look at unemployment numbers, you want to look at both. The media is going to tell you the U3 rate. I think as an investor or a potential seller, or what's really going to happen with the market, you want to look more at the U6 rate. It appears as though the vaccine is coming. In fact, as I record this week's episode, there are people already having been vaccinated in the UK and abroad, and it's ramping up in the US. So great news there. The CARES Act just was reauthorized through the end of January as of this taping, and this is middle of December right now. And so that means that the forbearance program, the foreclosures are all being put off. And when I look at mortgage delinquencies right now, statistics are telling me that about 8% of the mortgages out there are delinquent, and that is shrinking, so that's good news. And then finally, the South Carolina is, depending on which study you look at, it's for sure in the top 10 states in the country for migration into the state from other states. So a lot of folks from New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, that whole Rust Belt area they always have been moving here, but it's even getting, there's even more of those folks moving here, and welcome to our state. You'll love it compared to up there, I'm sure. Texas and Arizona and Nevada are getting a lot of people from California. We're getting a few. So that said, I think, also too, the Midlands prices on homes this year are up 10% versus last year as a rule. And so, whether or not your house is worth 10% more, you'll just need to check with us and see. But the median sales price in the Midlands is up 10% versus 2019. We have 1.5 months inventory, and our number of sales for this year through the end of through the end of October are up 2.5% versus last year. Now, if there were more inventory, there would have been way more sales. So what's happened is prices have been driven up due to higher demand. What do I see happening in 2021? Well, probably just more of the same. There's a few things that could really throw a wrench into the gears here, and that is if the CARES Act were not reauthorized after January 31st, we may see an uptick in foreclosures. Well, I mean, we will see an uptick in foreclosures since there are none right now, at least not on the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac mortgages, but which would mean a more supply, of course, which may ease price increases. I don't see prices coming down in 2021. I see them at least maintaining where they're at and probably continuing to increase. Now, I would be super concerned if we were looking at 25, 30% over year-on-year price increases. That would scare me. That would be like, oh my gosh, here comes 2008 again. But there is still a little bit of risk. I mean, I see stuff selling out there I'm like, wow, that is crazy what they paid for that house. But it's happening. It's definitely a seller's market. And our inventories, I think, are going to continue to remain low. The building costs for lumber and all the building products is not going down anytime soon. I mean, there's such a demand for that. So I just see, and another thing that's going to happen or may happen, I mean, of course, President Biden looks like he's going to be our president unless something really crazy happens. He is promoting a $15,000 tax credit, not deduction, a tax credit of $15,000 for first-time home buyers. Well, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. When we had our last first-time home buyer tax credit was back in, I think, 2010, 11, and that was to stimulate the economy. And we needed more demand for houses because there were so many foreclosures. It was definitely a buyer's market. Now there is such huge demand for that price category of first-time home buyers. And then what are we going to do? We're going to throw here's 15 grand more to help you with your down payment and free money to basically drive up more demand on those same houses. So I'm not sure what President Biden is thinking there, but hey, we'll be here to sell them. We'll be here to list them. And, we'll be here to help you with your real estate needs, whatever happens. So I think it looks good for us compared to other places. I think there's going to be significant pain in California and Florida, New York, and maybe Las Vegas. And so if you're an investor, I'm not sure. I mean, I have been waiting for the market to take a dip to maybe buy some rental property myself, but I'm not sure that I'm going to do that. I don't think there's going to be a huge dip in the Columbia market, and I'm knocking on wood because who knows, I'm not an economist, but I watch a lot of stuff on this all the time just to stay in touch with it. So anyway, there you have it, a quick 8-minute video on what does Brent think about the 2020 housing market in the Midlands. If you have any questions, want to discuss that, feel free to, or need anything real estate related, please DM us on our Facebook page, call me personally on my cell phone, or email me, and we'll be glad to help. Have a great week.